How exciting is this? We are back.
It's been a while.
Oh, it's been a while. I am
Few
so
weeks.
excited. Something like that. It's been a minute. I am so grateful to be here with you, David. And for everybody joining right now, welcome to the stream of David. We are going to have a really extraordinary experience today. David will be channeling the stream of David. So I would love for everybody that's popping in to one, let us know where you're from, and two, go ahead and type some questions into the chat so that we can ask the stream what's going what we can ask the stream to share. That just didn't come out. You look, y'all, type your questions in because it's gonna rock today. I'm telling you what. Whenever I try to get
We're
all
blaming, we're
mystical,
scapegoating everything on Mercury retrograde. So
oh
anything
my
we mess
god,
up, that's our scapegoat.
seriously, right? I want to say a big hello to see Megan Michael. I am so happy to see you. I really am. I saw her the other day she was doing a live stream and it was absolutely fantastic. And Peter in Bristol, Australia, and hello, Luke. And hi, Joe. So
You know Joe, right?
a little bit a little
A
bit.
little bit.
Yeah, little. So, David,
Joe from Las
everybody,
Vegas. You remember Joe from Las Vegas, right?
I remember Joe from Las Vegas. I met him with the Elvis impersonator.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Hit
sort
it
of got
off. They
married.
were. Yeah.
Yeah, we hit it off really well, like that well. So nice. Anyway, um, everybody, we have a lot to talk to the stream about. We got a lot going on right now. The energies are popping off, David, like literally, and it has just been extraordinary. I'm going to blame it on the Taya Ascension event. That's personally what I'm going to blame it on because I have been elevating ever since that event.
Yeah. Everybody that
Lit-
I've talked to that went said the same thing. It's still resonating and reverberating and throat spray.
it was the most amazing thing, y'all.
Nasty
I
throat
mean,
spray. Oh,
seriously.
oh,
It's
that
a,
sounds awful.
yeah, you know it, just
Ah.
you. But that's all right. You've done
Yeah,
it.
that's not the whole. I was trying to go the holistic route with the healthy tea and the honey, and I thought, okay, we have to get in the big guns, so I brought in the.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That stuff. Ew. Ew. That
It is
like
awful.
no. That's
Yeah, the
terrible.
stream may not come
Ew.
through now.
Oh, the stream is
So,
he's so don't
totally
take him
kidding.
seriously. Yeah, he
Totally
is
kidding.
totally
Don't
kidding.
take the stream seriously. Don't ever take David seriously. That's a good
He's trying to.
advice. Yeah,
All right, exactly.
I'm the jokester.
I okay. Listen, I need some questions, y'all. So get
Yeah,
typing. Get typing for real. What do you guys want to talk about? I want to talk about health because everyone I know has been dealing with some sort of health issue, whether it's that C word or it's the C word. The C word
C
used to mean a
word.
whole different thing. Freaking thing.
The
Actually,
new C
okay.
word. I love it.
The new C word that still means the same thing. Just that I tell you. Just kidding.
No, you're not.
David. No, I'm not. So yeah, I would love to talk about health, and there's actually a couple other things that I've got in my mind. So I know that it must be out there for the collective right now to be thinking about this. What about our sovereignty? How would you guys like to talk to the stream about what does sovereignty mean? Go ahead and type that into the chat if you're down for digging a little deep into the word sovereignty. Respect, type that into the chat if you'd like to dig into the word respect. Let's think of some other things that we can pick the stream about. Pick the stream, David. Say it really
Well,
fast.
I never come in here with any. My intention is just to share the stream and to have this amazing experience and flow of information. I don't come in with an agenda. The event in LA 2 weekends ago, almost 3 weeks ago now. I can't believe it's been that long. Um, we didn't have. There wasn't an agenda. It was just an intention, and it ended up being so much more than my intention, and it was and the flow of information and the rhythm of the whole event. We had this sort of arc experience with the stream that was just amazing. And in
Oh, it
Rome,
was remarkable.
we'll have clips coming out soon, and then we'll have a whole. We'll make available the whole session, so you'll get to see it real soon.
I'm excited about it. there were so many incredible synchronicities happening. There were incredible input from the audience, and but the messages coming through that day were just so elevating for anybody that was listening. So please do watch for that. It's going to be coming out really soon. And yes, it was really, guys, it was so amazing. And just so that you all know, we're coming to New York in April. So y'all near Jersey.
Yeah, outside of the city, not too far outside the city, but outside the city. We don't want to be in the city; that would be a lot. But we're going to be in New York. The date of the event is April 23rd.
April 23rd, everybody. So lock that in if you're back east. John Fiore, I've already hit him up, and he knows that we're coming, and it's going to be it's going to be a really amazing thing. Orlando, are you planned in Florida?
No, the only other U.S. Date this year is New York, because then we're going to go do London in July, maybe August. That might get pushed in August a little bit. And then the intention is to go to Sydney in October. And then I want to start doing a lot more traveling. We kind of need to spend this year building the audience for it, and we're actually creating a documentary of the stream this year. So Rome is joining us at all these events. Rome is our videographer and editor from the UK. He came over for the LA event. He's doing all 4 events, and he's making a documentary of stream teachings this year from all these different events. And he's talking to people in the audience, Taya Bootcamp graduates. The coolest thing, 2 cool things happen. Well, lots of cool things happen over that weekend, but 2 of the coolest things that happened. The very first person that took Taya Bootcamp came to the event.
Yes, she did.
And I've lost touch with her. She's not on Facebook anymore. She's not, just in our Facebook centric world. And I haven't heard from her in a while. And I was wondering how she was. And I saw she bought a ticket to the event, and she came, and I had a great chance to speak with her. And she was the very first person that signed up for what is now Taya Bootcamp, the very first person that paid me anything to do what I do. So she's very special, very, very special person. And I always wondered how she was doing, with this. And I asked her if she was still using the Taya practice. And she said, absolutely, every day of my life. It changed my life forever. Every day I use this. And that's why I'm here supporting you here and just wanting to be in the presence of the stream. That was everything to me to hear that the very first person, she was number 1. Student number 2 was Stacy, head coach Stacy, who's a coach in the business now. So I love hearing from people that go through the program. They completely change their lives, get the tools to continue to do it. Yeah. And then if they choose, they can continue to just level up and level up and level up for a lifetime. So
well, that's what we're doing.
That was a high point for me. Definitely.
Well, Dave, it was a high point for me to talk to her. I was sitting, we were on a break, and we were sitting there, and she was telling me about where her life was and where it's at now. And it was so incredible. Now you're making me think about what number I was.
I don't know. You were pretty early on. You were in the first year, I think. We're going into year 4 now. So
I'm excited.
Yeah, we're doing a big boot camp kind of promotion push thing in February. So I'm really excited about that. So we'll get lots and lots of people. February is a fantastic month for boot camp. I think people get past the whole New Year's resolution thing and then realize, okay, now I need to put that aside, and I need to really do some work on myself if I really want to make any of these dreams, come true without all of the self-doubt and fear and all that stuff. So we always do really well with just a huge group. It's really exciting in February every year. So we're really going to promote it starting next month, which is right around the corner.
I can't wait. It's going to be fun. I want to say a really big hello to Leland. Hi, hon. I miss your face too. Leland is one of our warriors and one of our incredible veterans out of Las Vegas, California. Just absolutely an extraordinary human being. And I love you. Okay. And Cheryl, I see that. So, all right,
okay.
Guys. So
I still have this weird dry cough. I was sick for the whole month of December. Totally have appreciation for why I manifested that. It was a great month off that I've never had in my adult life, really. But now I have like this sort of dry thing going on. So I have a remedy from Debbie on its way to my home right now that she suggested. So hopefully that'll be okay. That's not going to stop me from coughing tonight, but we're going to do this nonetheless. The channeling must go on. So
I love the question
coming in that look like they're questions for the stream. So I am going to ask everybody to do what we do. If you've never seen this before, what we do is we collectively do a little meditation. I'm going to pop out of screen for just a moment and just compose myself. I'll be back. We're going to do a little guided meditation. Debbie can
Say hi.
entertain
I'll
you
say
for
hi.
just a moment. I'll be right back.
Let me entertain you. Hi, everybody. So, I love that question, Sandra D. I'm going to encourage you to, I can't wait to see what the stream has to say about psychedelic mushrooms and cannabis. I think that's an awesome question, and encourage you to also look at the reports that are out there right now. Absolutely extraordinary information available. So it's pretty cool stuff. So David is back, and if everybody can, if you're not driving and you can do it safely, join with us and let's just focus on our breath and set our intentions for this next 45 minutes.
We are here.
Wonderful, wonderful. So let's just get started with what does the stream have to offer about psychedelic mushrooms, cannabis, in the respect of using them for healing?
We will lay the foundation for this response with we will first share that we are not a judgmental entity, so we are not judgmental about anything that you choose to partake in. From our perspective, there is nothing that is wrong that you do in your environment. It is all for your expansion, even if you perhaps label it as not your preference. From there, we will move into the idea of understanding that your vegetation in your environment, you label this as medicine, and it is okay to label it as medicine or simply sustenance. It is there to feed you and nourish you, and your human vehicles were designed to run on what is present in your environment. So anything that is plant-based is your natural medicine, is your natural diet. And the more natural that plant is that you're consuming, the more your human vehicle is in alignment with processing it. We are not guiding you away from consuming animals. That can be part of your diet as well. But understand that the plant-based part of your environment was intended to be your primary source of sustenance, which absolutely would lead to your natural ability to heal. It feeds you. So it is promoting your body's own natural healing process. And when your body is not processing your environment, understand that humanity has created all of these things, all of these chemicals and compounds, the structures that you live in, the machinery that refines your air, the food that you eat. All of these things are technology, and they're advanced technology, especially in your now moment. And if you think about how humanity evolved and got to the place where you are now, and think about how much time humanity spent in nature as comparison to how much time you've spent in communities and in shelter, and especially since your industrial revolution in industrialized systems of food and medication and things like that. So the more natural the substance is, the more apt your physical vehicle is to process it in a positive way. But understand that there are elements that have different effects on you. Some of them relax you. Some of them relax you so much that it sort of tears down that egocentric wall that separates you from the energetic realm. And of course, there is a tipping point of, we refer to this very often as the vibration of need. and notice the things that you really, really, really believe you need very often elude you in your world, because the law of attraction is all about you aligning in harmony with that which you desire. So if that which you desire is healing, and you have serendipitously discovered a modality of healing that works for you, allow that serendipitous interaction just to be. And whatever that thing is that you are exposed to, that you feel very positive about, that you are giving power to, is going to be a healing modality for you. So if you were removing the human created judgment from anything that you would consume in your environment, we would guide you just to completely remove that and understand that the labels of drug or not drug or psychedelic or any of these things, it is all about the vibration of experiencing it without needing it, because the need of it is what creates overconsumption, is what can create addiction and things of that nature. So simply enjoy the experience of the having of it, but understand that anything and everything that you are consuming is only helping facilitate your body's natural ability to heal and to absorb the earth environment and be the filtration system that it is for any and everything that you're absorbing. And that counts for toxins, that counts for these compounds and things like that that you've all created, that you're all living with. That includes your food sources, that includes information, that includes smell, sound, anything that your senses are absorbing in your environment. Think of your physical vehicle, your body, as a filtration system in which to experience the earth environment. And when you are appreciating all that is and loving yourselves, your filtration system is working at an optimal level, regardless of what you're feeding it or what you're exposed to. This is why one could live next to a factory that is labeled toxic and have cancer and things of this nature, and another can live next to it and be perfectly fine. Because your belief system and your attitude toward the experience is much more important than the experience itself.
Wonderful. Thank you. I want to say, Leanna, I love that. And that's beautiful that you are experiencing a release from addiction. I think that's fabulous. See, Megan, Michael would like to know more about dolphins and manatees. Manatees. I'm not sure exactly what, but that's okay.
In any of the creatures on your planet, you are all a collective consciousness. So you are all connected. You are all one, essentially, but expressing in different modalities. The human modality is expressing in a more advanced intelligence than many of the other creatures are. But understand that in this advanced intelligence, you have created beyond instinct and evolution. You have jumped ahead, several leaps ahead. So you have created structures and modalities of travel and technology and things like this. The animals of your world have abilities that humans also possess, but have long forgotten. Because the animals of your world, what sets you apart is they are not operating in a self-created matrix of beliefs. They are operating in instinct and evolving in their instincts and their experience with their earth environment. So understand that there is contrast on all topics in your environment. You're in a polarized environment. So anything that you create that you consider positive is going to have a negative aspect to it. Everything is polarized, everything. And the more you judge it, the more you focus on that polarity. So it'd be very easy for humanity to say that the dolphins and the manatee and the whales and these types of creatures that you all tend to admire, because they're so connected, because they're so intelligent, that human beings should be more like them. But if you were more like them, then this human created matrix that allows you to travel and communicate the way that you are in real time, in a 3D sense, you wouldn't have all of those things. You wouldn't have all of those advances. You wouldn't have your your Western medicine and your all of the things that humanity has created to make your lives more comfortable. So there is a trade-off for these things. The good news is that the more you raise your vibration systematically, the more you move yourselves out of polarity, meaning you're not moving out of polarity so much as you're moving out of reacting to polarity the way you've been taught to react to it. The more of those sensory elements that these creatures that you've mentioned have, the more you adapt, the more tuned in you are, the more empathic you are, if you will, the more you can indeed communicate without needing the technology. But here you are. This is where humanity has manifested to. And here you are all discovering that you've got all of this technology that allows you to have all these things and all of these luxuries and all these comforts, but you're starting to sort of peel away the layers of the onion, if you will, of the things that you understand in all of that aren't necessarily serving you. So it is possible to have all of the things that you've created move out of that polarized matrix of judgment and fear and have all of the things that you all enjoy in your modern day lives, but also get back to those qualities that you speak of when you speak of creatures such as that. It is completely possible for you to do that.
Wonderful. I'm glad that you're loving it, Megan. That's wonderful. So one of the Facebook users said that the manatees are dying off in high numbers. So is there any
an aspect of any physical environment is a cycle of existence? But understand that the physical expression may die off and return to feed the earth environment is all life does, but the vibration of cannot possibly die off. The vibration of will simply morph into something else. This is why we have said to all of you that if humanity were to become extinct, you would not need to travel to another place. You would automatically, your consciousness would automatically morph into something else of even greater intelligence from the human experience. That is true for the earth environment. Understand that the entire universe is just a wormhole of mirror images. So everything operates the same. If the earth environment were to be destroyed, and at some point it will have a lifespan that will come to what you would call a conclusion, the vibration of planet Earth would morph into something else. So when you're concerning yourselves with something dying off, don't be so concerned about that, because anything that is seemingly dying off has a vibration to it that morphs into something different. And very often it has to do with the efficiency of that physical vehicle in your current day environment.
Oh, that was wonderful. Oh, how are you guys loving this so far? I actually would like to take a deep dive into an experience I had over the weekend that was polarized for me. There was contrast there. And my observation was that I wasn't respected, period. And I want to talk about respect and why I felt that it was so important for me to voice that I wasn't, that it was disrespectful. So
anytime you are receiving something, it is a mirror image to your vibration. But understand that you're all moving through vibrational flow. You're all in this polarized environment. And we speak of vibrational flow. The polarity that we speak of is creating this up and down vibrational flow for all creation. In fact, that is how creation began. That is how creation expands. So this vibrational flow that creates this mix of wanted and unwanted scenarios, unwanted things, unwanted manifestations. Understand that that is part of your journey. And when you are finding yourselves feeling disrespected or feeling triggered in some way, it is always a reflection of your current vibration. So we would always guide you to turn inward and think about what in your vibration is aligning with that, and then be thankful for the one who is mirroring the vibration that perhaps you wish to address. It is completely up to you whether you do so or not. But generally, when you are experiencing something low vibration, it is showing up to reflect to you exactly what you can, if you so choose, work on next in your vibration, because your triggers can be healed and solved and released. Every single one of them can be. The vibrational flow and polarity, you're not going to solve that. That is a natural state of being. This is why your moods shift and your vibration shifts, and you're sort of ebbing and flowing through different experiences that are not always exactly what you desire. However, when you find yourselves being triggered or find yourselves in a more volatile situation, that is absolutely something in your vibration that is residing full time in your basement, in your vibrational basement. And it's there all the time. And it's simply something that you're able to not pay attention to and even ignore as you move up your spiral. But you come down your spiral a bit, not even necessarily into a super low vibrational space, and these triggers happen. That's because the thing that's causing it, the thing that's attracting it, is always there. It's always on. It doesn't matter where you are vibrationally, until you clear out that vibration from your basement, you are always going to be attracting it.
That makes perfect sense. Absolutely. And I agree with Leanne. She says, be grateful you're able to know that it made you uncomfortable. I 100% agree. Taya tools, guys. Taya tools. Taya tools. Taya tools. Mike, I'm so stoked you needed to hear that. It's a thing. It's going on in the collective. So let's get over to another question. I love this. Sandra D says, do we have a choice pertaining to reincarnation?
Your point of entry into physical environments is a vibrational alignment that you choose from your eternal consciousness state of being. So essentially, when you are not experiencing physical, when you are non-physical, which is the wholeness of that which you are, there is an experience that you are seeking for the expansion of that experience. And you are bound with other strands of consciousness, loosely bound to some and more closely bound to others. We have often described it as a rope with little filaments that twist around and make a little string, and then those strings twist around and make a larger string, and then those strings twist around and make a rope. If you do that into infinity, that is what consciousness is. A consciousness is a collection of strands, but there are some strands that are more closely bound than others. So you have these strands of consciousness that are essentially your vibrational neighbor, taking this vibrational journey and expressing in infinite physical formations and environments. So the point of entry is a vibrational alignment. Each and every one of you chose your point of entry, even if you do not wish to claim it. And we understand the vibration of not wanting to claim your point of entry, as long as you're not fully understanding and appreciating why you would choose such a thing. But understand that that choice is not made from an egocentric human consciousness. That alignment happens before you are in this polarized environment. That alignment happens vibrationally first, as all things do. So in that vibrational alignment, then the actual physical expression begins to form. And that is absolutely chosen, but it's chosen vibrationally. And it's chosen very often for the in fact, it is chosen always for the set of experiences, and very often for very specific experiences that many of you may believe would never be your choice from that perspective. But when you're out of polarity and you're out of judgment and you're out of fear, you are willing and able and even eager to project yourselves into even dire consequences, because you understand that there is great expansion offered for you in physical, in experiencing something impactful and significant. Because very often, notice that the most significant and impactful elements of your lifetime end up being the things that frame that which you are. And if you remove the typical matrix human judgment from the experience, it is all just that. It is all just an experience. You can be the stillborn or aborted fetus. You could be the abused child. You could be the child that is born into terminal illness from day one. And we very often use those individuals as an example of a highly enlightened being projecting into terminal illness. And when they pass at age 5 or 6, the ones that knew them lament about how enlightened they were and how at peace they were. That is what you're experiencing. You are experiencing that eternal consciousness in physical form, with an intention for a challenging experience, regardless of the outcome, and that child hanging on to that eternal consciousness more because they're not necessarily out playing in the real world as much, because the real world is the true illusion.
Wonderful. Let's jump into quantum, what people call quantum jumping or shifting vibrations in the quantum field. Can we talk more about what is the quantum field, and is it possible to shift and quantum jump?
The quantum field is essentially the energetic realm. It is intelligence, it is consciousness, it is that which we are, and it is that which each and every one of you are rooted in and absolutely connected to. As far as the idea of jumping from consciousness to consciousness, you're all doing that all the time. Your egocentric or your humanized mind is overshadowing that to deliver this, what is perceived as a unique human experience. That is why so many human beings believe that there is nothing beyond physical, or if there is something beyond physical, it's through the power of suggestion of others and teachings and religion and things of that nature. But innately, you all have some awareness of it. You have some awareness of coincidence and serendipity and the power of love and those emotions that you can't necessarily quantify and certainly are beyond 3D. That's just a little taste of what the energetic realm is all about. So when you speak of jumping, you are all a collective consciousness of planet Earth, and you're a collective consciousness of humanity. You possess the ability to do things of that nature in your environment, but more broadly, you possess the ability to have awareness of all creation at all times eternally, meaning forward and backward. Everything that has ever happened and everything that is ever going to happen, having full awareness of all of that. That is well beyond your human comprehension, because you didn't come here to bring all of that knowledge into this environment and operate in some level of super intelligent perfection. You came here to have that knowledge overshadowed so that you can have what we playfully refer to as the weekend trip of planet Earth, so that you can disconnect from your regular life, go and have the weekend journey and experience that weekend environment, have the weekend at the beach, eat the food, be on the beach, get the sunburn, have the laughs, drink too much, whatever it is you're going to do. That's your experience. That's exactly what your time on planet Earth is. It is a weekend trip. It is one experience in infinite experiences. But when you're not in that consciousness, then that human consciousness that is very overshadowing, your awareness of all that is all that is. So the idea of quantum jumping is a natural state of being, because you don't even have to jump. It is just there. You have full awareness. You are omnipresent and omniscient. So the connection between your physical experience and your human consciousness and your eternal consciousness, those things are joined and they are absolutely connected all the time. But the polarity of your environment leads you to overshadow it. And this is what we call the matrix, the human created matrix, the human created operating system that runs on things such as fear and judgment and comparison energy and all of those things. We are not judging any of those things as negative. We are simply pointing out that all of those elements that hold you in a 3D state of being is what's creating the overshadowing. And when you look at the young ones are more connected. And where do you learn? You start behaving and interacting in communities and in school and things like this, and you start moving through life beyond age 4 or 5, you start forgetting all of those things and you start learning to operate in your human matrix, and that gives you an experience that is not bad. It is just something that we are guiding all of you to be aware of and understand that there is a lower vibrational aspect to that if you hold yourself in that indefinitely. You do not have to hold yourself there all the time. You can absolutely align more with our consciousness, your own connection to source, and raise yourselves out of it. And then you can even practice raising yourselves out of it more and more and more and more. Many of you may refer to this as enlightenment or an awakening experience. Understand that you are never going to cross some threshold of what you might call enlightenment while you're in physical. That is not your intention of being here. It is not your purpose. However, you are all asking, and that is why we are flowing through David the way that we are, to answer, to respond in a way that you can understand, that makes sense, that is even quite logical when you compare it to many of the teachings of your world.
Thank you. So we have a question. Leanne is having confusion about ghost and disembodied beings. Are they the same? Or when a medium sees them, are they a ghost or a disembodied being?
The idea of a disembodied being, you are all of consciousness. And understand that when your physical vehicle, when you separate your consciousness from your physical vehicle, and that physical vehicle is what you would call dead. The purpose of that physical vehicle is to feed the earth environment by design. All life has a cycle, and at the end of that cycle, the consciousness withdraws from the experience, from the weekend trip, and the physical vehicle feeds the earth environment. The entire earth environment is that. All organic matter is that. All organic matter was something that was one time what you would consider consciousness-driven life that ceased to be and changed into a formation that became something that creates worlds even. There is a design and cycle to all of this. So understand that the physical embodiment, when you are interacting with the energetic realm, you are perceiving in such a way that your mind with your operating system, which is your belief system, can comprehend it. And your operating systems very often are heavily influenced by religion, heavily influenced by science fiction, by the scary movies that you've absorbed and things like this. And there is this collective consciousness notion of what these energies are. The heavier or more dense energy that you all perceive sometimes is very much your own manifestation. And when you are seeing someone that has what you would call a psychic ability or a supernatural ability, that has the ability to tap in more to the energetic realm, such as David, and their vibration is to tap into the energy of people that you knew or people that lived in a certain place or something of that nature, they are reading still at a human level. They are tapping in and they are perceiving based on their belief system. And obviously you have some that are so adept, they can meet you and tell you all about your crossed over grandmother in great detail. And it's an uplifting experience in most cases because it's signaling to you the validity of the energetic realm, and it's in service to you. And that medium very often is seeking to be in service to you. They are not looking to harm you in any way or frighten you. They are seeking to be in service to you. But what they are reading is that connection of that strand of consciousness to you. Because your crossed over grandmother, once she is moved out of her physical vehicle, she is returned to source energy, which means in that amalgam of all that is, not just specifically that singular strand of consciousness projecting in that specific being. So the reading is intended to give value to you, and it's very much that strand of consciousness as it relates to you. And it has the value that you give to it.
Wonderful. So I love this question, C. Megan Michael. It is, how do we intentionally develop telepathy between humans?
The intention is more of an allowing and a focus. When you have an intention of being highly connected, and the very best way to achieve that, rather than trying to force something, because remember, anytime you think you need something, anytime you're trying to make something happen and you believe that you need it, you are sending a clear signal to the universe that it is not there. The vibration of need is always answered with yes, because the universe is not seeking to deliver any specific experience to you other than that which you are aligned with. So when you are appreciating another being and vibing with another being and seeking to simply allow what is natural to occur, then you are in a much better position to allow something like that, as opposed to chasing it away in that vibration of need, essentially picking up the hammer and trying to hammer something into place. That does not work on any topic, and certainly not a topic such as that.
Wonderful. Okay, so now we're going to go on to Cheryl, and Cheryl says, do we morph into something more intelligent, higher vibration upon the end of this experience, or is it a matter of where we want to be?
The idea of the higher intelligence, again, it is omnipresent, omniscient. You are not leaving this physical vehicle and returning yourselves to a specific destination, because you are not a singular being. You're an eternal being. You're an eternal strand of consciousness. You are intelligence. There is no need to choose a specific place. The choosing of specific space has very much about manifesting into a physical environment to have a physical experience. But the energetic realm is exactly opposite of that. There is no need for that.
Wonderful. And so Nathan Skinner says that his vibration is abnormal, and he's curious about exactly what telepathy is. Those are both really actually great questions, Nathan. Thank you.
We would state that there is no such thing, in our opinion, as an abnormal vibration. However, you are operating in the human created matrix, and certainly there is judgment around different experiences that is outside this band that you might call normality. So if you feel like your vibration is not normal, we would guide you to detune the fear of it and the judgment of it, because the fear and judgment of it is giving it life and amping it up. Allow the experience of whatever you are experiencing to flow, but understand that if you were fearing it and you were judging it, you are amping it up, and you may be amping it up in an unwanted way, and it may be something that's instilling fear. But as our promise to you, that you possess the ability to detune fear on any topic. You have all been fed this steady diet of horror movies and things of this nature, and certainly anything that is considered beyond physical can be something that can be framed as very scary, as demonic and evil and all of those things. But understand, the energetic realm is not that. The energetic realm is an expansive, warm, loving, creative energy only. The idea of lower vibrational energy is simply that. It's less than that, and it's lower vibration, but it is not evil. The evil and the scary stuff is all of the things that you all create in your human environment. All evil is a product of polarity. All evil is a product of ego, of doing things that you might consider scary or evil, rooted in fear and judgment, which is very much polarized, which is very much rooted in ego. So when you detune the fear and judgment of whatever you're experiencing and simply appreciate and allow the experience to be, then you will no longer label any aspect of your being abnormal. And to answer the question about telepathy, telepathy is your collective consciousness connection, and you all have it. And understand that you did not project in to have a one size fits all experience. This notion that you're all equal, you are not all equal. You all came with different intentions, variety of intentions, endless intentions. And these intentions did not all land you in the same level of play on any topic. So there are some that automatically are going to be more receiving of otherworldly things, of esoteric experiences. And very much it has to do with the environment that you project into. And that goes both ways. You could project into a set of parents who are really into these things, who try to teach them to you, and your soul journey is not about trying to be that, and it will not appeal to you, because you're a unique being regardless of who your parents are. Each and every one of you can agree with that. But you could also project into an environment that is very against these things and still have that experience, even though it creates a lot of contrast early on in life because you've got something going on that you are being told you should ignore. It needs to be prayed out of you, perhaps. It could even be considered evil. But that's part of the human journey. And very often that heightened telepathy, or however you wish to label that connection, exists for a specific type of experience that was indeed your intention when you came.
That was fantastic. Nathan, I absolutely love your questions. And I want to remind everybody, if you are especially watching on YouTube, we have a Facebook group, and I'm going to put up the Taya Practice Facebook group and how you can find us. And if you haven't joined, please do, because there's a lot more information in there, and we're all part of a really great community. So I just want to invite you right now to come on over. And Vanessa has a question. Hi, Vanessa. How are you doing? How can I bubble myself from the vibrations of people around me when they are determined to be in a funk and want otherwise?
Understand, we will go back to an earlier question. When you are having an experience with other beings, those other beings are very often a reflection of your own vibration. Now, your vibration may not be that you wish to exist in a funk, but when you are judging their funk, you are attracting more of it. The universe is not knowing. Your focus is on aspects of them that you do not like, but that's where the focus is. So you are going to manifest more of the things that you do not like. The clearest path out of that, anytime you all ask us about being in a toxic environment, in a toxic workplace, and you use that word toxic so much, we will always guide you to focus on how you are aligning with that. Because if you are not aligning with it, you are not experiencing it, period. But it's very difficult for many of you to accept that you see these behaviors of other beings that you wish to no longer be a part of if you ever did in the first place. The key to moving past that is to find authentic appreciation for it. Appreciate them as they are in their funk, remove the judgment, remove the emotion from it, and allow them just to be. And understand that your own being does not have to be impacted by anything external unless you allow it to be.
Okay. And she's expanded to say not judging, but noticing, and can't physically leave at the moment.
The noticing of it and the labeling it as a funk, you may not feel judgmental about it, but we would guide you to go a little deeper into that. Because if it is something that you're discerning is not your preference and you're not yet appreciating it, that's why you're in it. But when you find that authentic appreciation for it, you will move away from it. It is inevitable. We guide all of you to find authentic appreciation for that which you judge as not wanted. Because if it's sticking around and you don't want it, it's because you're thinking more about what you don't want as opposed to what you do want. And we understand that when you've traveled down a path of manifestation where you are deep in something, deep into a relationship or an employment situation or a business, and you believe there's no way out of it, the universe is a magical place indeed. And magic can happen for you through gratitude and appreciation. Authentic appreciation of what is the key to detuning anything in your past, anything in your present. And we very often speak of the human created matrix, the human operating system. Notice that the human operating system is not about gratitude or appreciation, or even that which we label radical appreciation, which means that we are guiding you to appreciate the very things that you may loathe the most. But in your gentle appreciation of them, they are no longer part of your life experience. You move away from them. Magical things will transpire that will move you away from a situation that you may feel stuck in.
I just want to say that is absolutely true. And I've experienced that myself by working those tools exactly that way, 100%. So I absolutely love that. And hello to you, Leslie. So I want to talk about narcissism. One of the things I've noticed that there's a lot of people talking about, if the narcissist in their life, or I'm the victim of a narcissist. If you've ever been the victim of a narcissist, and it's my understanding and my belief that if you're seeing it, it's in you. It's part of you. So I really think that I'd like to unpack that a little bit.
You are absolutely attracting that which you are experiencing. So if you are attracting a narcissist, you are either attracting a narcissist because you are vibing as a narcissist, or you are demonizing a narcissist and therefore still vibing as a narcissist. That is the component that many do not understand in your world, that when you are demonizing something, you are giving it life, you are giving it power. David is reading a book that is very much demonizing of the healthcare system and pharmaceutical companies and things of this nature. And as he's reading the book, we are guiding him to not drop into that judgment and fear vibration that book is likely going to cause a lot of people to have, because that vibration of fear and judgment is only going to give additional life, fuel, if you will, to the very thing that the book is talking about. When you are fearing and you are judging, you are giving life to anything and everything. And you see, there is evidence of this in your environment all around you.
Is that because our ego wants to hold on to that judgment because it's uncomfortable, or lack of wanting to take accountability?
The judgment is uncomfortable, and the victimization is soothing in the beginning. The first step of victimization is soothing. It is not my fault. I did not attract this. This is I am being put upon by others, that sort of thing. And that victim vibration has been very, very well exploited in your environment and promoted even. And notice how it robs you of your power. It robs you of your power to heal. It robs you of your power to create differently, to create more in your favor. Anytime you are demonizing something, you are the one that's keeping it alive. So if you are interacting with one that you are labeling a narcissist and you are focusing on the things that are not your preference about them and not focusing on yourself, you are going to hold yourself in that vibration and thus hold yourself in that relationship. And even if that specific relationship ends, if you physically move yourselves away from it and then you continue to demonize the one that you label narcissist, another narcissist is going to be right around the corner. You are going to be a magnet for it. So look inward and discover for yourselves why and how you are attracting this interaction. Work on that, whether it's the demonization of or if it's your own reflection of. It's all the same universally. And then detune that transgressor, that narcissist, by simply appreciating them for the experience they are having.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful. So I'd like to discuss compassion for other people. And also, what I've discovered is when I'm stuck, doing something for somebody else seems to help a lot. But I'd really like to talk about a little bit about compassion for these people that we do call the narcissist, and also compassion for ourselves.
The idea of compassion is empathy, not judging the scenario or situation of another and offering them your highest vibration of appreciation. There is power in that. There is absolutely collective consciousness power in that. But the idea of compassion rooted in ego, very often compassionate acts are more rooted in the savior vibration of I am the one to save you, and it soothes my ego or boosts my ego. So we would guide you to understand that your polarized world is always this delicate balance. There is a point to where anything and everything is beneficial to you, and then there's a point to where you're sort of tipping over back into polarity, back into ego, and that notion that you want to help people and you want to heal people and you want to save people moves beyond compassion back into ego.
Beautiful. Well, we are coming up on the hour. So is there any last messages before that we let the stream go?
We will leave you with a blanket statement for the asking of many, even questions that have not been posted, that if you are experiencing vibrations that frighten you and you're experiencing things that you might label as hallucinations and things of this nature, understand that you are receiving the energetic realm and you're interacting with it. And very often you have been told to label this and fear it and perhaps even seek medical care for it. We are not guiding you away from your medical care, because you are only able to manifest that which you authentically believe. You have a belief system. And if you have traveled far down the path of creating a vibrational experience, and everything is, and you need that treatment from that medical facility or that provider, don't think that you can just, this term cold turkey, that you can just move into spiritual teachings and completely forget about all of that. It would be much better to shift the vibration gradually. We speak very often of detuning and detuning and detuning some more. Detuning is more gentle and gradual and moving from one belief system into another. The thing that you can do when you are experiencing something that frightens you, or you're experiencing something that is causing you suffering, understand that your fear and your suffering is all rooted in your judgment of the scenario. This should not be. I should not be experiencing this. What's wrong with me? Why am I having this problem? Why am I different than everyone else? When you detune all of that, those experiences will not be as frightening and as impactful to you, and they will dissipate. They will absolutely dissipate, or you will learn to experience them in a way that you can show full-blown authentic appreciation for them. And then there will be very different experiences. David went through that along his journey of allowing us to fully manifest the way that we do when he shares us. That fear-based idea placed him in what many of you would consider a haunted house. Unwanted manifestation in physical after unwanted manifestation in physical that could be quite frightening, until he learned to not judge it and not fear it. And then all of those things went away. And he's never experienced it again, because he became completely at peace at that which we are and allowing us to flow. But it's his agreement to allow us to flow. He was seeking something that he didn't quite understand, and his misunderstanding of it, he was judging it, and his judgment of it, he was fearing it.
That was perfect. That was perfect.
We have shared quite a bit, as we often do, and all of you extracted all of this information from us. So we guide you to watch this again and again and again, because there are multiple layers in this for all of you that have participated in this interaction, even if you're watching this in the future. This is a co-created experience indeed. With much love, that is what we have.
Excellent questions, audience. I am so grateful for each and every one of you for showing up today and having the courage to ask your questions. And I am grateful because there's nothing off limits ever whatsoever. Leslie says loving and demonizing in the same stick. And these are powerful, both polar ends. Trying to read it, girl. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you. Thank you, C. Megan Michael. Thank you. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, everybody, all of you who have shown up today. It's absolutely outstanding. I do want to remind you quickly that you can visit the streamofdavid.com and learn more about the Taya practices that are offered, because it's an extraordinary practice, believe me. And also, please join the Facebook group, the Taya practice. There's a lot of people in there who are handy dandy, can help you. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Luke. Luke, sending love and healing to you. And everybody else, if you're experiencing anything that is less than you prefer.
Very good. Thank you all so much. My voice is about gone at this point.
Yeah. That's what
thank you all so much for watching and playing with the stream. I look forward to watching it back. I know there was a lot of really good information in there. I'm always buzzy after these things, even when I've been coughing. So I just want to show gratitude to all of you for showing up and asking questions. A lot of great new information, I'm sure, for all of us to absorb. Debbie, always thank you so much.
Thank you, David. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bring those questions.